Do you have any idea about what your stool says about your health? Have you ever thought about the importance of this action we do every day for our health? Today we're going to talk about the everyday topic of defecation. We'll discuss what constitutes healthy stool, what our stool tells us if there's an issue, and more in detail. Firstly, it's important to note that healthy stool is typically brown. However, its color can vary depending on what you eat and drink. For example, if you consume a lot of leafy green vegetables, your stool might be darker green. But very light or very dark stools can indicate digestive system problems. Healthy stool is usually soft and formed. Hard or liquid stools can be a sign of digestive system issues. Normally, stool doesn't have a pleasant smell, but if it has a particularly bad odor or smells different from usual, that could indicate a problem. The shape of the stool is also important. Normally, stool has a long and smooth shape. Fragmented or lumpy stools can be a sign of digestive problems. While it varies for everyone, it's generally normal to pass small amounts of stool several times a day. But passing too much or too little stool could indicate digestive system issues. Taking a deeper look, human feces are formed in the final stage of the digestive system. The digestion process occurs in the stomach and intestines. As food progresses from our mouths to the stomach, nutrients are broken down and absorbed. By the time it reaches the final part of the digestive system, most nutrients are absorbed, leaving behind undigested remnants. These remnants pass through the intestines, where water and minerals are absorbed, and they're eventually expelled as stool. A healthy digestive system determines the normal characteristics of stool. For instance, stool is typically brown due to the presence of a pigment called bilirubin. However, the color of stool can change if you consume green leafy vegetables or colorful foods. The consistency of stool is also important. Normally, stool is soft and formed. However, hard or liquid stools can indicate digestive system problems. This could be due to an imbalance in stool water content or irregular bowel movements. The odor of stool is another characteristic. Normally, it has an unpleasant odor, but excessively foul or unusual smells could indicate digestive system problems. The shape of stool matters too. Normally, stool is long and smooth. Fragmented or lumpy stools can indicate digestive problems. Lastly, the frequency of stool passage should be considered. While it varies for everyone, it's generally normal to pass small amounts of stool several times a day. Passing too much or too little stool could indicate digestive system problems. Now, let's talk about the Bristol Stool Chart and discuss the different types of stool in detail. Type 1 stool, according to the Bristol Stool Scale. This category includes stools that are quite hard and lumpy. They often consist of small pieces and can be difficult to pass. The primary reasons for this type of stool are inadequate fiber and liquid intake. Lack of fiber slows down the digestive system and makes it difficult for stool to pass through the intestines. Additionally, insufficient water intake can lead to stool hardening and lumpiness. The diet that leads to type 1 stool is typically low in fiber and liquid intake. Consuming processed foods, white bread, rice, and other low-fiber foods can affect stool consistency. Also, not drinking enough water contributes to stool hardening. To prevent or treat type 1 stool, it's important to consume plenty of fiber-rich foods, vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Additionally, drinking an adequate amount of water daily supports digestive system health and helps keep stool soft. In conclusion, type 1 stool is often the result of a diet lacking in fiber and liquid intake. Type 2 stool, according to the Bristol Stool Scale. This category includes stools that are compacted and dry. They're usually firm and lumpy, but slightly softer and still shaped. The primary reasons for this type of stool are inadequate fiber intake and low water consumption. Lack of fiber prevents the digestive system from functioning properly and makes it difficult for stool to pass through the intestines. Insufficient water intake can result in dry and compacted stool. The diet that leads to type 2 stool is typically low in fiber and liquid intake. Consuming refined carbohydrates, processed foods, and low-fiber foods affects stool consistency. Also, not drinking enough water can lead to stool hardening and compactness. To prevent or treat type 2 stool, it's important to consume plenty of fiber-rich foods, vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Drinking an adequate amount of water daily also supports digestive system health and helps keep stool soft. In conclusion, type 2 stool is often the result of a diet lacking in fiber and liquid intake. On type 3 stool, according to the Bristol Stool Scale, this category includes stools that are slightly softer and more formed than usual. Despite having a soft consistency, they're still shaped and consistent. The primary reasons for this type of stool are inadequate fiber intake or low water consumption. Lack of fiber prevents the digestive system from functioning properly and can slow the passage of stool through the intestines. Low water intake prevents stool from being moist and soft. The diet that leads to type 3 stool is typically low in fiber and liquid intake. Consuming refined carbohydrates, processed foods, and low-fiber foods affects stool consistency. Additionally, not drinking enough water can prevent stool from being moist. To prevent or treat type 3 stool, it's important to consume plenty of fiber-rich foods, vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Drinking an adequate amount of water daily also supports digestive system health and helps keep stool moist and soft. In conclusion, type 3 stool is often the result of a diet lacking in fiber and liquid intake. Type 4 stool, according to the Bristol Stool Scale. This category includes stools that are soft and formed, easily passable, and form a single lump on their own. The primary reasons for this type of stool are a balanced diet and a healthy digestive system. When fiber intake is adequate, the digestive system functions properly and stool passage is facilitated. Additionally, drinking enough water contributes to soft and formed stool. The diet that leads to type 4 stool typically includes a fiber-rich and balanced diet. Consuming vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and fiber-rich foods supports digestive system health. Additionally, drinking enough water ensures that stool remains moist and soft. To maintain or support type 4 stool, it's important to adopt a healthy and balanced eating habit. Consuming fiber-rich food supports digestive system health and ensures regular and healthy stool. Type 5 stool, according to the Bristol Stool Scale. This category includes stools that are soft and formed, easily passable, and form a single lump without any fragmentation or lumps. The primary reasons for this type of stool are a balanced diet and a healthy digestive system. When fiber intake is adequate, the digestive system functions properly and stool passage is facilitated. Additionally, drinking enough water contributes to soft and formed stool. The diet that leads to type 5 stool typically includes a fiber-rich and balanced diet. Consuming vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and fiber-rich foods supports digestive system health. Additionally, drinking enough water ensures that stool remains moist and soft. To maintain or support type 5 stool, it's important to adopt a healthy and balanced eating habit. Consuming fiber-rich food supports digestive system health and ensures regular and healthy stool. Type 6 stool, according to the Bristol Stool Scale. This category includes stools that are loose and fragmented. They're usually soft and may even be passed in identifiable shaped pieces. The primary reason for this type of stool is often a fast digestion process. Food digestion occurs more quickly than usual and the transit time through the intestines is short. This results in stool passing through the intestines quickly and becoming loose. The diet that leads to type 6 stool is typically low in fiber and high in liquid intake. Consuming refined carbohydrates, processed foods, and low-fiber foods affects stool consistency. Also, not drinking enough water or consuming excessive liquids can result in stool becoming loose. To prevent or treat type 6 stool, it's important to consume plenty of fiber-rich foods, vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Drinking an adequate amount of water daily supports digestive system health and helps maintain stool consistency. In conclusion, type 6 stool is often the result of a diet lacking in fiber and excessive liquid intake. In type 7 stool, according to the Bristol Stool Scale, this category includes stools that are liquid and completely shapeless. They're usually watery in consistency and are often described as diarrhea. The primary reasons for this type of stool are an increased digestive system, speed, and inadequate digestion. Food digestion occurs more quickly than usual, and the transit time through the intestines is very short. This results in stool passing through the intestines quickly and becoming liquid. The diet that leads to type 7 stool is typically low in fiber and high in liquid intake. Consuming refined carbohydrates, processed foods, and low-fiber foods affects stool consistency. Additionally, not drinking enough water or consuming excessive liquids can result in stool becoming liquid. To prevent or treat type 7 stool, it's important to consume plenty of fiber-rich foods, vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Drinking an adequate amount of water daily supports digestive system health and helps maintain stool consistency. In conclusion, type 7 stool is often the result of a diet lacking in fiber and excessive liquid intake. Now let's wrap up this topic and summarize everything I've discussed. Stool provides important information about our health and serves as an indicator of digestive system health. It's crucial to pay attention to the color, consistency, odor, and shape of stool, as any deviation from normal could indicate digestive system issues. If you notice any changes in your stool, it's important to consult a doctor, as these changes could be signs of underlying health problems. In conclusion, maintaining a healthy diet rich in fiber and drinking plenty of water is essential for supporting digestive system health and ensuring regular and healthy stool. If you have any concerns about your stool or digestive health, don't hesitate to seek medical advice. Remember, healthy stool is an important indicator of overall health.